To import students, first log into the system. Now head to class setup and check whether the class that you want to import the students to already exists. Here you want to import into the RGN D8 class, which already exists. But if it does not exist, just click on the new class and fill the class form to complete the class setup. Here you have to put the class year group and the tutor of the class and click on save to save your details. Because you have a class already set up, I'll just go straight to the student setup and then select a program which the class belongs to, and then I'll pick my class. Here we don't have any data in this class, so I'll click on the import to import the students. But before I do that, I have to make sure that the students already exist or the Excel file is well formatted. So I'll just head straight to my Excel file, open it and check the details in there. So this is Excel file that contains the student data, and then from here I have to make sure that at least I have my surname, other names, index number, which is under the field index, the date of birth, primary contact, and gender. But as you can see, the gender here is in female and male, but the system prefers it to be in F and M. So I'll just do a search and replace by typing Control plus F, which will bring the find and replace, and then I'll switch the replace option and then replace all female with F, and then I'll also replace all the male with M. Now that this is done, the next thing I have to do is to ensure that all the fields are formatted as text. The system expects all the fields to be in text before you can read it, so I'll just select and format them in text. And then once I'm done, I'll just close it. I'll save it and close it. Now I'll go back to the application and click on the import students. In the import window, I'll select import from Excel and browse to where my Excel file is. Now I'll select the sheet from the Excel workbook that contains my data. As you can see, this is the same as the data that was in the Excel sheet that we opened. The next thing here is to map the fields together. The system has a lot of fields or expects a lot of fields to be mapped. So these are all fields on the system that can be mapped. And this is the Excel field that we have. So to make it simpler, I'll just map from the Excel to the system. So I'll map the surname field on the Excel to the surname field on in the system. And I also map the other name to the other names field. So I'll continue. So in the Excel, the index number is under the field index, but that is supposed to be the index number on the system. So I'll just map the two together. I'll continue with DDMI, which is the date of birth. I also map that one to the date of birth. Click on the map, and then I'll continue with the primary contact. Map that one to primary contact. Then I'll pick gender and map gender to gender. Click on map, and then I'm done. So you see that is all the field that we have to map from the Excel. Now at this point, I can just select all the data to import it, or I can pick a subset of the data to import. But in this case, I want everything, so I'll just check all. You can also make changes before you import the data direct by typing them here. So at this point, to import the data, I'll just click on load from data source, which will give me a preview of what is going to be imported on the system. I can check the information that is going to be imported by just hovering over the fields. Now that I see the preview there, to import it, I just have to click on commit imported data. Once I click on that, the system will now go through the process of importing the data. This will take some time depending on your network. Now it says 167 data imported, which means that it is done with the importing. So now I can now close the import window and go back to the students page. At this point, I'll just toggle the class selection to just check whether the students were imported. Now After selecting RGN D8, I can see that the students are now in the class. If I want to change or move a student to a different class, I can easily do it by clicking on the move button. I can pick a class to move the students to, or even if I want to change the student index number, I can still do it from here. You can also edit the student information, but that's something that is reserved for the admin or the admin system.